Hey guys, in this video I will tell you everything you need to know about Asuncion, about the neighborhoods. If you want to stay just to visit for 1 week, what is the best place? Or if you want to stay for long term, I will also tell you the best place with a big idea of the prices of Asuncion. So first, the first thing you need to understand is how is distributed Asuncion. First, you will see around here is like the historic center. So it's really different from the new Asuncion. I will show you after. In the historic center, the streets are perpendicular like this. It's really distributed like this. It's all buildings. Most of them are not really good quality. And at the night, it can become a little bit dangerous. About the danger, the majority of slums of Asuncion are next to this highway. In this area there is really poor people, so at night they go out. Some of them are drug addicts, not all of them of course, some of them are just poor and normal people, but they go out at night, they go to the historic center, and if you walk in the street from 11 midnight you can encounter bad people, so be careful about this. The historic center is pretty cheap. You can get apartments, you can get houses from $200 or $300, but it will be typical Paraguayan house. It will be bad electricity, electric showers, so it will basically not be really modern. So that's a good option if you don't have too much money. There is restaurant in the historic center, there is cafe, a few things to visit. But if you want a safe area, if you want a modern area, it's probably not the best. So I will continue, just erase this. So if you want to find something more modern, there is something that I will call the new center of Asuncion. It's also called the cooperative center because there is all the important building, all the important shopping centers. So for example here you will see there is Shopping del Sol, which is a big shopping center, really modern. You will see really nice place. Also acá Paseo La Galeria is also a big shopping center. So if you want to find something modern, nice restaurants, good accommodation, like recent buildings with everything really nice, it's mostly around this area, like mostly around here. But also there is space you can find. The neighborhood in Burukuya is also really nice. It's mostly houses, so maybe not the best for short term, but it's pretty nice. The neighborhood of Villamora is also really nice with should be around here. I think there is a street around here that is called Carmelitas, and in Carmelitas is the street if you want to go out at night. There is some bars, there is some clubs. It's really nice, different vibes depending on what you like, and you can find pretty much everything you want there to party. So also these neighborhoods at night, they are pretty safe, so don't worry. Of course, if you're drunk, if you have an expensive watch, if you have your phone like this, it can be dangerous like anywhere in the world. For me, I come from France. It's just common sense. Don't go out in the street with your Rolex at night. It's just logical. But for if you are normal, I would say, there is absolutely no risk at night. So also the neighborhood of Recoleta is really nice. As long as you stay top of this big avenue, it's nice. And also there is another one which is called Madame Lynch, this one. So the bottom one is called Eusebio Ayala. This one is Madame Lynch. As long as you stay inside of this, it will be pretty nice. Also, this is Mariscal Lopez, all this which is a really big avenue as Asuncion. And as long as you stay inside, so inside these blue lines, it's pretty good neighborhoods. Also, Ikwasati, it's a really nice neighborhood. I really like it. I live there right now. For me, it's one of my favorite neighborhoods. I live a bit further, like here, and it's really quiet. It's really nice, really authentic. If you want to be closer to the shopping center, if you want more activity, it's always better, of course. Also here, there is, I would say something like this here, Las Laureles. It's also a really good neighborhood. And in the middle, there is Barrio Herrera, also here. So basically, all of inside of this, I will just erase this, the Mariscal Lopez. I will draw again the line. Oh shit. I drew like this. So in this middle center is basically the nicest place of Asuncion. There is modern building. There is also nice house. The Paraguayan house are minimum 3 bedroom, usually 4 or 5 bedrooms, so you can have great places for a family. It's awesome. Keep in mind that it's Paraguayan house, so sometimes it's not that modern. If you want something really nice, you should go for an apartment. You can find it really easily on Airbnb. If you're staying long term, I will advise you first to take Airbnb for 1 month, and then you can start looking, because here the contracts are for 1 year. So basically, that's all you need to know for the nice neighborhoods. I will now give you a few other options and I will explain you why. Let me give you this area, which is the area of reference. So all this place is pretty nice neighborhood. It's pretty safe. All of this place is the historic center. I mean, it can be dangerous sometimes. Also, there is a neighborhood which is called Las Mercedes ahí, and also Barrio Jara, which is here. So these neighborhoods are also pretty expensive. They're also pretty nice, and you can find really nice buildings there. The only difference is that you will be further from the shopping center, which these one are the two biggest. This one also is a big shopping center. This one also is a big one. So you will be a bit further from this shopping center, but you will be closer to the historic center. So that can be good sometimes. Also, some point of interest, there is the French school here. There is the American school here. So if you have a family, if you want to stay long term, the Las Mercedes and Barrio Jara, which is here, they have a lot of demand for families because of the French school and the American school, which are probably the two best schools of Asuncion. Really expensive also, but you can get a really good education for your children here. So now if you have less money, there is the nice place, which is something like this. Now if you have less money, there are a few options. So first, there is Fernando de la Mora, which is really nice because it's really close to the new center. And Fernando de la Mora, I will advise you the north part, Parte Norte, and there is the south part. I wouldn't advise you the south part because the south part is more dangerous at night. It's not so nice. So I would advise you Fernando de la Mora Norte. Also, you can go to Lambaré. It's a bit further, but there is some really nice place, especially by the river. There is the Yacht Club, which is a really rich neighborhood. There is some houses that are worth several millions. So if you have a lot of money next to the Yacht Club, next to the golf, you can find amazing house. And Lambaré is a bit further. How do I modify this? Okay. Lambaré, if you want to go to the center, maybe it's like 30 minutes. And from Fernando Norte, it's only 15 minutes. So that's why I really like Fernando Norte, because it's really well located and it's not far from the center. So also you have Luque, which is nice. Now they are building a lot of apartments in this area, also in this area. Luque is near the airport. Luque is known as the city of gangsters, the city of thieves, but now it's not so true anymore. I mean, there are definitely dangerous people in Luque, but it depends on the neighborhood. Luque can be a really good option if you have less money. From Luque to the new center, you only have like 20-25 minutes, so it's a really good option actually. Just choose a neighborhood with recent buildings, with nice buildings, and you should be alright. If you take a house in Paraguay, you need to know that there are people that want to steal. They will go in your garden, and if there is anything in your garden, they will steal it. So either you take a house with a good protection, or either you take a building, because in the building there is a guard, nobody can go in, so it's way easier like this. And also, I will let me zoom out a little bit more now. Also, there is other cities that can be an option, but it starts to be a bit far, and I will explain you as. There is San Lorenzo, which is known for his universities. There is Capiata also, which is far. Mariano Roque Alonso. So these cities are not so nice. It's not for foreigners. It's cities for Paraguayans, I would say, because the accommodation is way cheaper there. But it can be a good option if you don't have too much money. The only problem with San Lorenzo, Capiata, Mariano Roque Alonso is at night. Here there is Mariscal Lopez, which is the biggest avenue. There is Madame Lynch also here, going up to the top. There is this. All this street is in blue. Not working. All this street is blue. From 4 p.m. it's crowded by cars. So if you want to drive, if you want to go back to your city, San Lorenzo, Capiata, Mariano Roque Alonso, you will waste maybe 1 hour. If you want to go to Capiata or further, it can be up to 2 hours just driving from the center to these cities. So two options. First option, you don't go out during the traffic jam. Second option, you take accommodation closer to the center. It can be a really nice city. In San Lorenzo, you can find accommodation from $200, $300, maybe sometimes less, depending on the condition of your accommodation. In Capiata also, in Mariano also, but the problem is it's far, and when there is traffic, it can be difficult. Also, in Fernando, Parte Norte, which is really close to the center, you can find accommodation maybe from 300. There are some buildings in this area, so it's pretty nice. And in the new center, which is here, you can find accommodation from, I would say, 500 for long-term renting. And if you go short-term renting, you would go through Airbnb, and the minimum price would be 700 or 800. So as you can see, Asuncion is really big. There are a lot of options depending on your price. Of course, if you zoom out, I will show you a few places. If you zoom out, if you go outside, you can find really small cities like Limpio. Limpio is really cheap, Amboscada is really cheap, but it's the countryside. It's already the countryside. Limpio is actually not the countryside. There are a lot of shops here, but from here, from Amboscada, it's the countryside. From here, the countryside. Here also the countryside. So you can find really cheap places for less than $100 a month. That's amazing if you don't have money. But at the same time, you won't have the advantages of the city. So it's a choice you need to have. Also, there is a city I need to mention, San Bernardino. It's known as a really nice city. It's a really rich city. In the summer, all the people, they have house in San Bernardino. When I say all the people, of course, I'm talking about the rich people, because San Bernardino is a really rich area. Here, there are a lot of German people also. So you will see the city San Bernardino, it looks like it's in the country, but at the same time, there are a lot of things there. So it's by the lake, it's really nice, really good views. There are some condominium, which is called Aqua Village, I think, on the top of San Bernardino. They also building condominiums on the other side of Asuncion. Now it's only the project, it's not finished, but they are building amazing places, honestly. And it's a nice option, San Bernardino. It can be a quiet city, especially in the winter. But you have all the infrastructure you need, so that's pretty nice. The places you need to avoid in Asuncion, pretty much all the neighborhoods in the evening. So for example, if you live in Roque, Mariano Roque, if you live in San Lorenzo, Capiata, Fernando, La Parte Sur, so this part, so this part, San Lorenzo, it can be dangerous at night. Capiata also. Luque at night. In Paraguay, pretty much, it's not that safe at night. I mean, you will not get killed probably, but you can get robbed. So at night, avoid going out. When I say at night, it's from maybe midnight. Also, near the Costanera at night, like I told you, there are a lot of poor people. Also, by the river, there are a lot of poor people. And in the historic center, it can be dangerous at night. The only place where I think you're fine at night is the new center because it's way more modern. The poor people don't really go in the new center. So maybe you can walk in the street at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in this part, but the other part I wouldn't recommend. So if you have any question about the neighbors, if you need any help, feel free to contact us. You can put a comment in the description. If you need help for your cedula, for your residency, you have all the links in the description. That was it for this video. I hope you learned a few things about Asuncion and I hope to meet you soon. This was Matt for the video. Ciao.